Hi, it's Alicia from the Pretty Brown Eye Reader. Today I am coming to discuss my 2017 reading statistics and my goals for 2018. Putting together these statistics was fun and eye-opening, and I just can't wait to discuss with you and get feedback from you all. Well, first of all, I don't do my statistics by the number of books I read. I do it by the count of authors that and writers that I have read for a year. So last year I read 64 different authors, writers, and this year I read 74. So an increase of 10. And this year I read 41 female authors, 32 male authors, and 1 genderqueer. So that gives me a breakdown of 55% female, 43% male, and 1% genderqueer. Now, that really is almost like the same percentage-wise as last year, because last year I read 56% female, 44% male. So that my reading really didn't go up or down as far as looking at gender. Now, when I look at race, this gets a little interesting. So out of the 74 writers that I read this year, 49 were African American, 14 were people of color, included in that like Asian, Hispanic, anything non-white but not African American, and I read 11 white authors. So my percentage was African American 66%, people of color 19%, and then white authors was 15%. So my African American percentage went up tremendously from the previous year because it was 50% last year and 66% this year. I'm not quite sure what happened with that, but that's what it is. And the reading of people of color and white went down, and the biggest decrease was with white writers. I read 28% in 2016, and this year I only read 15%. Okay, so my main goal last year that I set for 2017 was to make sure that I was reading African American males so that I could have an equal viewpoint as far as the African American experience. So I had 28 female writers, African American female writers that I read, and then 21 male African Americans. So that was from the previous year. I only had 19% African American males, so it did go up pretty good to 28%. But my female percentage of African Americans still went up too, from 31% last year to 38%. Okay, so looking at my fiction and nonfiction writing, surprisingly I had equal amounts. I read 18 fiction writers and 18 nonfiction writers. My biggest increase was in poetry, and the reason why is because of the month I did on Booktube, doing a poem every day for the month of April for National Poetry Month really increased my poetry numbers because I did a whole diverse group. So I actually read 27 different poets in 2017, and the previous year I only had read 5. So that was the increase was there. For short stories, last year I read 6 different authors. This year was up to 8, which is pretty good, I thought. Graphic novels, where it used to be 0, is doing really good. But last year I had 2, and this year I had 3. So I'm slowly getting that number up. And I didn't count the statistic last year, but did have 6 independent writers that I read this year. So I'm going to keep track of that one for 2018 and see how I do. So based off of my percentages, you probably can guess what my goal is going to be for 2018 if you've been watching BookTube any as of late. Lovely Denise at Arts Books Live is spearheading a campaign to read mostly African American authors for the year of 2018 called the BookTube Blackout or Blackout 2018. There's several hashtags that will be used, and so I am going to join it. And it's really not going to be a major difference, I think, in my reading because I already read heavily African American anyway. So I'm just going to make it official. But I do have some things in mind that I want to show during my reading for 2018. Mainly, I want my channel to be a repository of African American writing and reading. For me, as I've made a video this year, it really irks me when people say that black writers write the same things, or you know that they don't know any black writers, because it's just a ridiculous statement to make, and no other group is talked about in that manner, and it's just irritating. So that's what I'm hoping to showcase this year, all kind of different writers. I feel like it's going to be a good year just watching Denise do her prep, Freeform Lady, KT, and Musical Toddy, as well as listen to Dee Dee talk about what she plans on reading. We're all talking about different types of authors, so that I feel like it's going to be more exposure for African American authors for 2018, and I am really excited to have this focus on African American authors. For my plans for the year, I plan to read all African American authors. Yay! I do have a few exceptions. Of course, anything for work that I need to read, as well as church and my Bible reading. Those will be types of reading where may not be African American authors. Now, if Kevin Kwan puts out a book in 2018, I'm gonna have to go with the dude that I love. But I looked up and I didn't see anything that was supposed to be released by him this year. And also for Hispanic Heritage Month or any other Heritage Month, I still may pick up like a short piece of work, like some poetry or short stories or a graphic novel or something, to celebrate with other cultures as well. Okay, so one of my major plans for my channel and my reading is to do National Poetry Month in April to be an all-black edition. Power to the people. I've already started doing research for it. I already have 4 days planned as of now at the end of December. So my research for National Poetry Month, I have right now, I'm just going through some anthologies on my lunch breaks, and I actually have 3 anthologies that I'm going to pull all of the poets that I'll be using for National Poetry Month this year. And I'm really excited because one of the anthologies was put together by Gwendolyn Brooks, and so that is awesome. But I picked 3 different anthologies that are different time periods. The one with Gwendolyn Brooks was put together in the 70s. I have another one that was put together in the 90s, and another one that was published in 2015. So it's about 20 years between each anthology. So I want to look at the breadth of what African American poets have been saying for at least the last 40 years. But some of the poets are past that. It's just that's when the anthology, the oldest one that I'm looking at the time right now. So I think that you'll be surprised by April, when April gets here, and I hope that you'll watch that. Also, for this year, I want to incorporate some discussions of short stories. So I'm thinking that summertime may be a good time to do it, and just have like short story summertime or something. I don't know. I haven't really come up with a concept, but I want to feature some of the African American authors that write short stories and maybe discuss that. Not sure how that's going to look, but look for those. A couple more video ideas I have. I definitely will. This year I shared what my book clubs, which I the book club that I coordinate, which is the African American Author Book Club, and I shared our 2017 reading list. So I'm going to go back and share the 2015 and 2016 reading list so that there's more authors to talk about. And I also want to do a video of the independent authors that I read this past year. I know I gave the statistic of how many, so I think that'll be a good discussion, especially since Denise, one of the principles that she wants to do this year is to read at least one independent author a month. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I will definitely share the ones that I have read in the past. Of course, I'm going to participate in hashtag Read So Lit. I should have probably talked about that before I talked about April, but I got excited. But that'll be in February, and I'm looking forward to rereading Tar Baby, which will be the book that we'll do as a read along. But stay tuned to Dee Dee's channel, Brown Girl Reading, and she will give all the details of hashtag Read So Lit. One of the things watching Denise's live shows that she's talked about is buying from black bookstores, black owned bookstores. And so I went on the website that she gave us, the I hope I have it right, but I'll link it just in case, the AALBC website. That it has a section that shows where all the black owned bookstores are. And so I looked it up, and in Georgia, all of them in Atlanta. So there are 4 in Atlanta, and I want to make a goal to go to at least one of them and make purchases during this year, which if it's 4, I'm pretty sure that I'm in Atlanta at least 2 times a month, so I should be able to make that goal pretty easily. Another goal, if you watch especially my Instagram, I have a subscription box habit. So one of my goals is to get a subscription box every month, especially the ones that cater to African American writing, so that way I can on one hand be supporting black owned businesses as well as showcasing black authors. So these are my goals for 2018. I'm having fun watching everybody else's videos. Please leave me some comments about my statistics or any questions you may have about my reading goals. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.